Hello. All right, testing. And we shall see. Make sure my audio capture is correct. That's not coming through. Okay. So I'm going to need a second microphone. All right. We'll be getting started soon with the testing phase and the final tweaking and adjusting necessary to manage a VTOL SSTO that is capable of doing the Jool 5. All right, let's make sure we add our mic. So if you're watching this after effect, apologies for the late start to the video. You could probably skip forward ahead just a little bit, and we'll be getting started momentarily. Okay, so that is set up. I don't need that set up. Microphone is there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that should have, excuse me, that should have the game audio and the microphone being captured there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We are jumping back into the KXP2 save file, and hopefully everything will be good. All right. Oh, so I did add another mod into this since the last time I tested the TCA. Oh shoot, this was kind of like an autopilot mod. We'll look into that a little bit later. I needed to add the hangar extended. Thank you. I needed to. Oh, all right. Needed to add the hangar extended mod because the workspace I was dealing with started to get very cramped. So hopefully we can try that out. I've never added this mod before, so what would that be? I think this one? No. Wait, hold on. Let's get our plane going. So I've been working. The last time we have seen anything that we've been working on, it was Plane 9 from outer space, but that's changed so much since then. And we started into the VTOL series of our designs. And right now we are currently on VTOL 9, which is a little bit appropriate considering the fact that, see what I'm talking about? Considering the fact that the last working prototype of our version was VTOL, or was Plane 9 from outer space. What is going on? Throttle controlled avionics. Okay, so this was that mod that I added. Keep it disabled. Yeah, I was not ready for this. I thought it was just like a little window screen. Can I get rid of this? Where are you? There we go. Okay. So this is the VTOL 9. Much bigger, much beefier, much more streamlined than we had before. Alright, I just want to get the bigger hangar. What is this? Color scheme? No. Janitor's closet. Oh, this? There we go. Oh, that's interesting. I've seen people use this before, but I've never really made anything big enough to justify using it, because anytime I build anything big, it's in the VAB, and typically I have enough space because I work in modules, but never really made anything big in the spaceplane hangar, so this is interesting. Alright, so currently we have 30,000 meters per second delta V. We are missing wheels for some reason. There we go. And we have vertical takeoff capabilities through the engines on the underside here. I still kind of feel like I'm a little cramped. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to show you what I've created thus far. And then we will start working on the testing. So all of these are turned off. Alright. So that thrust away that you're seeing, the 66, I haven't quite tested it, but I feel like it could be good enough to keep us from stalling. Therefore, good enough to fly. And that's all these back engines here. Sabre M's, and those are kind of the most powerful that I have in that class. I've just been doing so much back and forth testing of different things. So all of our engines are these broadswords that will be doing us vertically. So we got that. All those are turned on. And we turn this one on. That one's good. And then these ones here. And that gives us a thrust to weight of 1.9. Shoot, I had the... Did I lose the fuel balance? Oh yeah, that's right. I just need to add a little more fuel into it. Okay, there we go. We got a nice lined up center of mass, center of lift. And, alright, so we can put these back on, and hopefully they'll be good enough to achieve flight. There we go. Okay. So we've got these underside engines. They are tucked away inside the service bay, thanks to the helpful comments from the viewers in the last stream when I was working on these. So we can go ahead and close all bays. There we go. So they're tucked in. Oh, still sticking out a little bit. But that is so that way they can avoid being aerodynamic drag on the craft, because I guess that, what just happened there? Lost an engine. There we go. No, yep, I don't like that. Alright, you know what? Sticking out slightly, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think that is... I keep losing one of these engines for some reason. I don't know if that's glitch or not, but regardless, I spent so much time trying to get one of these things stable. So, moving on. So our engines are good. We have this Lasso 300 Aero Hydro Exoscope, and the important part of that is the exo, meaning that this plane should be able to fly within Jool's atmosphere. This can eat up the weird chemicals and utilize it for propulsion. So we wanted to keep this for the KXP. We want this plane to be utilized for both KXP and POV. And POV is going to Eve. It doesn't need it, but KXP will be going to Jool. And we're going to want to fly in Jool, therefore we're going to grab it. We do have a crew cabin capable of housing 11 other, 12 Kerbals in here. Our front holds 4. But yeah, in case this design is good enough that we can start using it for tourism, then I think that would be kind of cool. So we're just going to include that. It also gave ourselves a little bit more room to work with the rest of the craft. But the most important part, well, I don't know about the most important part, but the crucial part of this plane's mission is tucked away inside here. And that is, of course, the ScanSat materials. We have our VS-11 classified reconnaissance imager, and that gives us anomalies and visual high-res information. We have followed next. Where are you? There we go. The M700 survey scanner which will basically give us our resources in low res. But we also have our Scan RX Hyper. I just lost it. Hyperspectral Resource Mapper, and that also gives us resources. But the difference is this one is from the ScanStat mod, whereas the Survey Scanner is stock, or well, not exactly stock, but the Breaking Ground Science DLC. But yeah. Yes, I know, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, the SARL antenna is this one down here, and that gives us altimetry, high resolution, and biome data. And yeah, so we've got anomalies, we've got the altimetry, we've got the visual, we've got the biomes, and resources. So all in all, this is very much an observation mission. However, I want to be able to manage the Jool 5, like you may see from the title, that we want to be able to take this craft and land on every single moon of Jool and be able to take off again and then eventually bring ourselves back home. And so in order to manage that, excuse my cat's eating and the little jingling that's going to occur. But to manage that, we have this converted Tron 250 and a large holding tank. And if we kind of come in here, we have our Drillomatic mining with a nice little opening for it to go through here, so it doesn't even have to clip through anything. I kind of like that. So, oh, you are missing shock cones. There we go. All right, there we go. Cool. So yeah, so it has the ability of mining for resources and converting it into fuel. So that way, as it goes along in its trip, as long as we can scan for resources and land in an area where there's a decent amount, we can refuel. So for its communications, oh, that's backwards. Okay. For its communications, we have these giant reflectron dishes. Hold on, I gotta get these put back in place. There we go. That should do it. There we go. 2 gigantic dishes. I think I only need the one, but I have one which is a relay antenna feed and one which is a direct antenna feed, so I'm hoping that between the both of them, they will suffice. It's blue on there, but it could be centered more, but I think it's good enough. Could go ahead and retract those. And I haven't set this one up to be on any kind of action group, but I assume it would be something like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's extend this. Let's extend those, and yeah, as we see here, okay, there we go. That's good. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Oh, but I don't want it to interfere with the side that it's on. Shoot. I ran in just... You get distracted by small little changes. I really just want to make sure that it flies. But that's okay. It gives us a second to allow a few more people to join if so they choose. And then we'll hop on to it soon. Oh, I don't need a servo that big. There we go. Alright, so now we can... I was worried about the having it off to one side. I want it off to one side so it's not necessarily pointing in the way, but I also don't want it to throw the craft off balance. Alright, we're going to do that to 0. There we go. Right, oops. Did I do that wrong? Negative 90. Oh, that's... There we go. Then it can... probably like that, something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. Then 0. Alright, sorry, I got bogged down a little bit in something that doesn't really matter. Oh wait, I did that wrong. There we go, yeah, okay. But yeah, so this is going to be our scanning space plane. Jool 5 capable VTOL SSTO. Hopefully this is the last redesign I have to do because I am just, you know, I'm so over this design. I'm so excited because this is, I mean, I apologize for not having stable episodes this week, like 2 weeks kind of, but I've been trying to focus all my efforts on getting this, oh, that could be a little better, getting this design looking decent enough and working right, that I just haven't been able to have enough to put out into an episode. There's just not been enough content. It's just a lot of struggles and trials and errors. I mean, even if like, oh, I could show you the bloopers and the test footage, but all you'd really be seeing is me either getting to orbit and not having enough delta V, or just not having enough delta V or not having enough thrust to get to orbit. So, and on the few occasions where I do have explosions, it's just it flipped over because my thrust was too much. All right, so our thrust is looking good. All of our engines are on correct. Yes. There we go. All right. So it is missing. Oh, okay. Of course, it's missing the RCS. The RCS kept coming off for some reason. Let's see. What's the biggest, most powerful one we've got? Sort by mass. Ooh, is this... What size is this? Mach 5? I didn't even see this. Oh, that's a reaction wheel. Oh, that's good. I feel like I should put it here, though. I have a... Messing things up already. I have a reaction wheel tucked somewhere. Oh, yeah, right behind the convertitron. But that, I think, will do us a little bit better. But okay, so these can't be the biggest. Let's see, thrust power 12. And this is thrust power 8. Oh, I guess that is the biggest. All right, well, so be it. So we're going to just pop them on. I think I actually have a proper RCS balancing mod. Oh, whoops. Should not be in single mode. There we go. STS 126 single stage of space 100 version 126. Yeah. hello, welcome in. Yeah. And the thing is too is this is like it's kind of a cop out to say that this is version 9 because this is also worked on between 2 different save files. So SSTO versions 1 through 5 was on the KSP branch, and the rest of them on KXP, so it's probably more like 15. But yeah, hello, welcome. Alright, RCS, good. Maybe just a couple more back here. And then I think we're ready for a test flight. Perfect timing, too. I still feel like I want to use some of the other engines, but we'll just try it out with this. We've got 26 grand on the Delta V, and we can just go ahead and simulate. So ideally, in today's episode, this will lift off vertically right now and go ahead and get to space, and then we're going to try to see what it can do with a full tank of gas, because obviously we're going to utilize most, if not all or just some of the liquid fuel that we need to get up there. And so either we will, okay, my wheel's a little funky. So either we will send this thing out to Minmus, or we will just refuel it in orbit. Okay, I do need to turn that down a little bit because that is brutal on my ears. I don't know how loud it was for the stream, but that was a little too much. It's already going to be loud with the engines. There we go. All right. So I'm pitched down, which is weird. I don't think it's bad enough that I need to go back to the VAB or the SPH to fix it. All right. Everything is good. Let's do action groups. The only action groups I have right now are not set up. What? What are you talking about? I definitely... Oh. See, this is why you don't add mods midway through, because I definitely set up action groups. Alright. Nonetheless, let's bring it back. We'll fix the front gear, and we'll put the action group in. That opens all this stuff, and it should be ready to go. Well, that's good, because I had only worked on the action groups dealing with the engines and the bay doors here. I didn't even... I mean, in my several tests, I did actually set up the action groups for everything else. The science, the engines, the doors, the communications, all that. But on this one, I did not, and I'm glad that I didn't waste time in doing so, because it wouldn't have done anything anyways. Alright, so action group 1 goes to toggling the bay doors. Okay. So the game audio might not be working right now. Let's see. Can we... No, I don't want to put the music on yet. We'll check it out in a second, the game audio. Let's just get this action grouped up. Alright, so action group 1 are the doors. 2 will toggle all of these vertical engines. I tried to work with tilting engines. I really wanted that to work. It was great because you could utilize your thrust to weight ratio both vertically and horizontally, but I just couldn't get them to be very stable. So I opted the best of my designs ended up being the ones where I just tucked the engines away in a service bay and just let it handle itself. All right, so then these need to be switch mode, and switch mode. There we go. I don't have any solar panels on here either, nor do I have any cameras, but we can worry about that in a little bit because those don't actually weigh all that much. So all we need to do is all right, doors open, engines on, goes up, engines back, goes forward, engines off, doors close, forward, good. So that's all I need. Those are all the action groups I need just to test this. So let's just close all that and let's just go. We got our 4 Kerbals and we should be good. All right. But yeah, with 26 or 20, whatever we have by the time we get up there, but, dealing with that amount, we should have more than enough delta V to go where we need to go. Um, yeah, so... Oh, I didn't fix the front wheel. Oh, well. That's fine. That's not the important part. Because we're going to be taking off vertically. Alright, so we got our bay doors open. Engines on. Oof, okay. Oof. Alright, so let me know if you can hear that audio. Actually, again, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Alright. Oh, these aren't set to action group. Alright, there we go. That should be enough to clear the bump in the POV game. It's vertical enough. Now all we need to do is wait until we can get enough horizontal speed that we can turn off the vertical engines. All right, 220 meters per second. Okay. Okay, all right, so let's cut the difference then. Bring that up. And then I'll just turn it down on my end. It's perfect enough. So, hopefully now the game audio can be heard, but I'm not going deaf hearing it. Okay, so killing our vertical engines, and hopefully we have enough momentum and speed building up. Our trajectory is now heading downwards, which is not good. We may need more thrust to weight here. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, we're still heading downwards. Alright, but I think we can get a little bit more efficiency at lower altitude, so we'll see. Before I bring it back into the spaceplane hangar for adjustments, because we could actually... Yeah, this could be adjusted. Alright, we are picking up speed though, which is nice. Yeah, I've been enjoying the Mach 4 capabilities as far as size capabilities, and having that service bay was nice and big. Okay, right and low. Trying to balance out the audio, trying to listen to see. I don't know why the game audio is not coming in. I see that it's on the screen, but look at that. Oh, that's fun. But yeah, I like the Mach 4 capabilities and size and all that, aerodynamics and all that. But the IVA it's advanced, it's interesting, but a little confusing. Like A, B, and C, but it only has these screens here. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, we're good. Yeah, I need more thrust. This isn't going to cut it. Which is unfortunate because that means we'll probably have to have more uh, lift on the vertical engines as well. Shoot. All right. Okay. We're going to save this. We're going to leave here. And we are going to turn on the game music. And that'll be the easiest way to figure out this audio situation. Okay. Pretty sure this music is okay. It's Kevin MacLeod and YouTube Studio music artist that I actually use a lot of the other stuff. My videos. Okay. Well, now I'm not even hearing it. Where's... Okay, so the goal here... Oh, there's the music. Okay. Well, it's quite loud for me, but we'll see how it is for y'all once I can get in there. So the goal now is to... get out there. Add the beefier engines, the ELU ones that I've been trying to work with this entire time that just seem to have faltered. So, alright, before we do that... let's check our thrust to weight ratio. Alright, yeah, so I'm not hearing any music from that. Okay. Just take a quick second. Let's see. If I do that... Alright, so I think that might be the fix, so we'll see if we get music here soon. Alright, so let's turn off all of these, because I want to make sure that I have better thrust to weight for cruising. Sorry, I'm listening to hear if I can hear the changes being made. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we can hear the music. Yes. Okay, it's quite loud. That's okay. Cool, thank you. Save this. I could actually just probably do that. Okay. Alright, so the volume should change here for y'all shortly. Yeah. Don't typically have the music on, so I don't know exactly what the right volume for that is. Okay. Alright. Okay, so until then, we've got a thrust to weight of 63, delta V of 31. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, cool, thank you. Alright. So, Project ELU. Take this out of my ear. Project ELU multi-mode nuclear engine. Fire flash air breathing nuclear engine. This is technically the better one, but I think this one actually goes faster, so we're going to throw that on there. So we have even less thrust to weight, relatively the same amount. So if we put those there, and oops, there, even less. All right. So that's fine. All that tells us is that we need to double up these. Or just add more. We could get away with just doubling some of these up. Or putting them on the side. So if we tack them on like that, gives us a 87 thrust to weight ratio. Probably make that better like that. 98. That's pretty intense, right? Okay, so I'll take that. Let's see. And it's just tacking on more and more engines. That's been the battle that I've had this entire time that I've been trying to make this, is balancing the back engines with the bottom engines, with the amount of fuel, with the cargo capacity, and trying to use robotics in there to help in some cases, and it just ends up getting too floppy. So I'm probably gonna have to add more of these underside engines because of all the extra weight I just added. But we shall see. Alright. Is that it? Is that all my... Yeah, I believe so. There's something still on. There's like a slight angle to the thrust. Is one of these limited? It's been so long. There it is. Bam. It's been so long since I've played with the game music on, because I typically have to play with it off in order to make my episodes, because I'm adding my own music on. Well, not my music, but I'm adding the music on over the voiceover. Therefore, if I were to have the game music, it would interfere with that. So everything should be on. Why do I have an angle? Well, I do have a thrust to weight of 1. So you know what? That's good enough for me as far as testing it. The angle is not very encouraging, but we will see. Anyone in chat or anyone watching this video after the fact that would like to give me tips or tricks, or even straight up tell me, hey, this is wrong, here's how you fix it, feel free to let me know either in chat or in the comments. I don't mind the backseating as long as I can get this to work, because that is the goal. Like I started to mention that this has taken me so much time and I haven't been able to get the episodes out like I've been wanting to. However, if we can nail down this design, if it's possible to get to Jool and to land on the moons, refuel, get to all the places and come back and do all the things of the Jool 5, then the next week all the episodes are going to come easily. We would just focus on the crew as they go from place to place. Still, I have not fixed that front gear. But we would just focus on the crew as they go from place to place, each episode being its new destination and journey, and it would become a lot easier. I'd be able to be back on track without a problem, I feel, and so that's the goal. If we could just nail down, I keep saying nail down, if we could just finalize this design and make it work, then I'll be pretty much back on track. Problem is I chose something super complicated for almost no other reason except for to try to do it. I've never done either of these before in my previous episodes and streams. I've mentioned, like, you know, never made an SSTO, never made a VTOL, never done the Jool 5. All of this stuff is brand new, but a nice fun challenge, and I feel like it would be kind of cool to see, and it would make for a good episode. So you know, I'm really hesitant to fall back on my typical just make a gigantic rocket, tack it on, like just tack a whole bunch of modules on there for landings and, you know, atmospheric flights and probes and all that. And you know, that's my typical go-to, and it works. It's a good method. All right, 300 meters per second. Let's say 350, and then we'll cancel out our vertical engines. Actually, no. Let's just do it now. And then close our bay doors for aerodynamics, and yeah, it seems to hold pretty steady. We are falling a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, you know, it's been a fun challenge. I think it'll be cool to learn to play around with, and hopefully I can master better things later. I've been trying to make this as small as possible. I kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but running into the tyranny of the rocket equation, where the bigger you are, the more fuel you need, the more fuel you need, the bigger you become. And so this is kind of the balance I've struck so far, but because of all the stuff in this payload, this is kind of as small as I want this mission to be. Because it's such a dedicated ScanSat mission, I need to gather as much detail and information about our landing zones and the resources that are available and any and all anomalies, because that is, you know, if we're going to be at all these locations, I'd love to see any of the hidden gems and the Easter eggs that they have on any of these moons of Jool and the moons of Eve and Eve itself. So we want all the information, and we're going to need altimetry because this is a space plane. We're going to need, you know, the biomes, because eventually we're going to want to do research in all those places. But the research and all of that can come later. That can be in a much smaller SSTO. You know, basically just this cockpit, a small little capsule with the information, and then the rest of it just be the fuel necessary to get to orbit and to get there. So it could be a lot easier of a time than this exact mission, but because of the fact that we have so many you know, excuse the phrase, but instrumental instruments, I think the size justifies the need. So we are gaining speed, not as fast as I would have liked, but still nonetheless gaining speed, gaining altitude, so we're not actually falling anymore. We're not in danger of crashing into the water, so it's just a matter of getting up enough speed to hopefully break through the Kármán line, and then hopefully we'll have enough fuel to circularize, and then we get to see what we've got from there. And I'm kind of excited. So this is, we've only got 1600 meters per second delta V. We are speeding up, but not a lot. So I think at the 1200 mark, typically I wait till 1300, but at the 1200 mark we're going to start pitching up, and hopefully that'll be enough to push us through and into space. Alright, I'm going to just start pitching up now. We didn't hit 1200, but I got a little impatient, so we're just going to start now. Careful not to move too quickly. And then tumble back over. There we go. This right here is a docking port right up on the front, so we'll be able to refuel in orbit if we need to. If we can't, ideally we'd like to be able to take this from the the runway all the way over to Minmus and have it refuel out in Minmus, get back up into orbit, and then we can make our Jool transfer out from there. You know, that's the goal. Oh, that's good. Alright, so we're just going to keep an eye on our apoapsis, and that's another good one. Keep an eye on our apoapsis, and as soon as it goes off into space, then we're going to try to pitch over, utilize some of our speed to move forward, and then hopefully we can circularize. Yep. So we're gaining delta V now because of the fact that we are in a higher altitude, but pretty soon our air intakes are going to stop working, and we are going to have to revert over to our close cycle mode. We are slowing down on our apoapsis, which is not great. I think I'm going to try to pitch forward a little bit, point more prograde, and utilize the aerodynamics to build up that speed. But it might just come down to switching modes. Yep. Alright. So what is that? 3? No. 3 turns them on. 4? Yeah, closed cycle, but they are lacking the oxygen. Yep. Alright, so we do need those ELU engines, because those are the ones that I can use where it's just liquid fuel. They're basically nuclear engines. These are still technically jet engines, so when they go over to closed cycle, they need oxidizer. Well, shoot. Alright, returning to spaceplane here. We're gonna get this. I've got some time I can spend on this stream, and I think we can get something good by the end of it. Alright. So let's see. Let's open up all these bays again. And we'll probably end up needing to add more vertical engines, because that's just how it goes. Limit all the thrust, limit all the thrust. It's like Evanescent front, but different. Alright, so currently we have a thrust. Okay, I'm just going to take a picture of this because I want to be able to compare this later to see if I just made everything worse or not. Alright, a thrust to weight of 98, delta V of 26,970. Alright, so we are going to change this all around. We can get these ELU engines on here because I like these, and these were the whole reason. Like, this was what I started the whole idea of making this plane for, was because I made something that used these and it worked really well, but it was just a tiny little plane. And then so I'm like, okay, I can extrapolate that and make it better. And the game is like, oh really? Well, let me introduce you to this rabbit hole. Alright, so we lost exactly, or almost exactly, 1,000 meters per second, and we significantly lowered our delta V. But if we take these off here, just make this monstrosity of engines in the back. You know what? We could just get rid of these, save ourselves a little bit of effort, and just duplicate this. go. Alright, so now our thrust to weight is over what it was before. It was 98, now it's 1.18. But we significantly lost the delta V about 5, a little under 5,000. Look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. Alright, but yeah, then there's no way that those vertical engines are going to be capable of lifting this now because of all the extra weight. What if we just take these ones off and put them sideways? Take this one off entirely. That's better. I like that a little bit better. I don't like that this sticks out here, so we are going to put a little bit of an adapter in the form of one of those. There we go. Okay, cool. Thrust to weight ratio 1.9. Actually, we can just turn that to liquid fuel. Alright. So we have a little bit more delta V than before, but still ridiculous. Oh, let's fix this wheel. Alright. I added this mod for the grid. I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, trying to add new mods in the middle of playthroughs is never a good idea. Okay. Oh, yep. I've seen this. I've seen screenshots of this, and it always seemed like it was very useful. Okay, all right. Yeah, I can see the use in this. So this line right here lines up with that one. All right. Okay. All right. That's easy enough. All right. Cool. Hit save, check on our vertical engines. By limiting the thrust of everything is just spend so much of this back and forth, limiting thrust on one, raising thrust on the other, and then reverse to check to make sure that the reverse is true. There we go. But I've gotten pretty fast at it, and I've gotten pretty good at remembering to do it each time. Alright, that should be good. Let's check the numbers. Alright, way too heavy in the front and not enough to get into orbit. Shoot. It's primarily just because of the weight too. Let's see. Could just I guess double up the banks. There's no harm in that, right? So we have basically I've turned these made it kind of modular, as you see here. Obviously the wing is not part of the module, but it's missing the shock cone. That would help. All right. And it's not letting me put the shock cone on there. What is going on with you? Maybe because it's clipped into it. This thing's being weird. Alright. There we go. Maybe because it was all clipped together. Alright, so we're just going to rotate this, put this back into place. It's for balance. And tuck it in here for neatness. We'll have the shot cone sticking out a little bit. Alright. Now. Alright, so we can get rid of that. That's fixed. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I didn't do that correctly. Oh, shoot. Alright. Gotta back that up. Gotta scoot that over. That's right. Because this is a short fuselage. Or a short service bay. It's not a medium one. I was forgetting and thinking that it was one of the wider ones. But no, we utilized the shorter ones for our design here. Okay, perfect. So then we... think now we just double it up. Was that right? No, we need to bring it to the front. That's what it is. I mean, we do double it up, but that's only because it was doubled to begin with, but just wrong. There we go. Maybe it wasn't doubled to begin with. Now it's 99. Still pushing too much in the front, really. Even after all that. Alright, well, we can put one here. That's not too bad of a deal. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that and duplicate that. Alright, so now a thrust to weight of 1.14, which is perfect, but again, too far off the center of mass. Make that better. Really like that to not be the case. Oh, what is that? What are you? Stray engine? What are you doing in there? Alright, get out. Alright. Yeah, the symmetry on this can be a little wonky. Look at that. Yeah, another one. Oh, that's from this. Because I added that on there. Okay. Well, shoot. I guess I needed that. Alright, well, that's not a problem. We can just push this out again a little bit. Oh, yeah, it must have gotten shrunk up against the side somehow. Get rid of that. Put that back. Alright, so we still have a thrust to weight ratio of over 1. But our weight is just so extremely off. Alright, so I guess what I'll do, I can get rid of that fuel tank. Oops. Oh, crap. go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to scoot that up. Put that back on there. Yeah, I guess we can take it off that. And then we're going to just put more fuel. And just that should balance out the weight problems. Hopefully. Alright. There. Right? So now it's too far back. Yeah, so in order to keep this thing balanced and keep from flipping over during takeoff, we need to line that up. So... no. Brings it back. Oh, I am coming up with an idea right now that might work. Oh, that might work, yeah. So we have this option here for liquids. Now, if we add just like, we can adjust the center of mass here. Look at that. I didn't even think of that. So let's say 12. Yeah. So we're right there, right? And then all we need to do is change, let's say 0, right? And no, there's not that. Let's see, drain. We have a part for this. We have a part that can, yeah, drain valve. So we're gonna put that there. Liquids. Make it only liquids. Okay. And then on action group 0, hit that toggle draining. Cool. So if I have planned that out correctly, that will keep us balanced on takeoff, and then we can drain it when we're no longer needing to have that forward center of mass. Oh, that's right, I got rid of all my wings. It's not one thing, it's another. Space plane. Space planes may be the death of me, but hopefully not. Alright, so we get this, let's try to go through this so fast. And I learned a nice little trick. You line this up, you go S-A-S-A. Bam. It's only on the side wings, or the main wings, but yeah. It was nice. It's very nice learning that. Alright, get our yaw. I've been experimenting with having my yaw tail wing. I typically only have the center wing. I've never done a dual yaw control, so I'm not too familiar with it. Alright, center of lift, behind center of mass, center of thrust, right above center of mass. Let's go ahead and turn all these off for a second. Check our forward momentum. I'm so ready to get back into the simulation and see this in action. I feel like I'm close. I feel like I'm really close and we are going to get it. I think we're going to get it today. Alright, so limit that thrust, limit that thrust, that one, and that one. Alright, so no thrust anywhere. So now, put these ones all back on. It feels like just a massive amount of engines. Like this is just a ridiculous Kerbal vehicle. Alright, so we are back down to 80 on our thrust to weight. So let's just go ahead, take these off. Let's just see if more boosters can solve that. We still have 17,000 meters per second delta V, and I think having something to the tune of like 8,000 or 9,000 is a good solid margin for a Jool 5, supposedly. The other problem that I need to make sure that we can handle is the controllability of it once it is in a non-oxygen rich environment such as a moon. Alright, and with this last engine here, we bring our thrust to weight ratio to over 107. Alright, and then let's just put the tail wing back on. Maybe I will just have it in the center. There we go. Alright, back again. Hit and save. Turning these back up. I actually am excited now. Getting ready for another test. Alright, those are good. Those are good. And the last ones. Yep, alright, those are good. Alright. I think we might be getting to space today. Yeah, see, it dropped down to 14,000, but even still, I feel like that's good. We fixed our wheel, right? Let's change the... Oh, that's not great. Let's go back. That's not a great bug. Alright, let's see. Well, that's not what I wanted. You know what? Let's just do the simulation. Who cares about the wheel strength? Alright, back at it. And, I wish there was a mod that could tally up your attempts, your, simulation attempts. That, so by the end of the project, I could see just how many times, I had to test and retest to get this right. But that's what I love about the simulation mod, is the fact that it's taken me this much to get this right, and to think about everything that I need to think about in order to get this done. Ooh, it's very back heavy. Alright. Alright, engines on. All engines on. All engines on. Throttle up. Ominous lightning. our front wheel is off. We are dragging our engine a little bit. Oh, yep. That is not good. All right. Terminate. Yeah, we're gonna need to protect that in some way. I'm seeing the last image before we switched over, and the Kerbals' faces were just priceless. All right. We are actually needing to play this with a cheat on because I just have had no luck not having it explode due to the max temperature. I think that's due to one of the realist mods that I have, but currently I can't really go through the mod list and separate it out. And it just became the point where it was just hindering our progress needlessly. What am I doing? Oh, that's right. I need to give it a little more room. So we can probably bring that down a little bit. Actually. Alright. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That actually needs to be moved back a little bit. Prepare for the ladder. Alright. And that ladder can probably actually go down as well. I mean, that'll have to do. That's good enough. Alright, so it's all good. Let's make sure some of our engines weren't on the action group. Oh, any of these. None of those were on the action group. Okay, well, that works. Toggle, 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 and toggle, and then switch, 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 switch. Alright, that works. Save and simulate. Alright. This freaking plane from the backside just looks like a line of speakers or a line of spotlights. It's just gonna be a massive blur of light when they all ignite and get up to speed. Oh, and I didn't even do the thing that I meant to do. I raised that, which was good, but I need to shoot. I need to put a barrier between the engine and the ground so it doesn't drag like that. That's what I actually needed to do. Alright. So utilize this. Yeah. All right. Let's get a little wheel on there. And by little wheel, I do mean huge wheel, as it is called. And it doesn't actually really matter that this wheel is so far to the back because we don't need it for landing anyways. We don't need it to, or we don't need it for takeoff. Because we're going to be taking off vertically. Just leave it at that. Alright, that should be good. There we go. Alright, so we have the thrust to weight. We have the delta V. We should, in theory, be able to make this work. We are no longer going to be dragging our engine. And we have our heat tolerances changes. Because honestly, I just want this this mission to start working. Oh, we're going backwards. Alright, you know what? Let's just get started. Is that set correctly? Yes, it is. Starting to wobble off the runway. That's no good. But I think if we fix our wheels so it doesn't, we don't have that reversing off the runway. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't want to restart it and do that, but that would probably fix all of this right now. 100% that is the reason why we're out of control, but we are vertical. We have taken off. We can raise our gears. There we go. I bet we could probably drain that liquid. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was a bad choice. Alright, let's restart. We don't need to terminate. We'll just restart. That was bad piloting. On my point, I miscalculated the fact that we will still need that until we actually turn off those vertical engines. So when we come in, first thing we're going to do is hit the brakes, keep ourselves stable and not rolling backwards. Brake. There we go. Action group 1. Action group 2. Oh, we're rolling backwards regardless. 3. All of them on. Throttle up. Fly-by-wire on. Get rid of our brakes. And just kind of mosey our way down the runway. Hopefully with a little bit more control this time. But already it does seem like we have the power necessary. Oh, we are not looking good. Come on. Come on, what are you doing? You want to attack the KSC? Is that it? Well, you don't get to. Come on. We've got other things to do. Let's go to space. Oh, what broke? What broke? Okay. And that's not going to work. There's some good explosions. You know, it's still not very deadly. It's blowing a lot of pieces off, but our Kerbals are still alive. I'm just letting it roll out because it was the most action we've gotten so far, but there we go. And we come to a rest. Yeah, because of the fact that we play with consequences in our series, we can't just can't settle for our testing being the real deal. But what that does mean is that it just draws out every single mission ends up getting drawn out so much more, like 5 times longer than necessary because we spend so much time adjusting and fixing. Okay, so first off, brakes are like 100% on this. No steering, damper, like 100 strength, everything. Just keep that from going We don't have the option of clicking on these for some reason. Okay, and I didn't like the fact that we didn't have a lot of control, so let's go ahead and double these up again. Alright, back at it. Feel like this should do. Feel like we've got enough forward momentum, we've got enough vertical momentum, we've got enough engines that I feel like it will take no problem to get up to speed. Have a decent amount of control. Let's just go. Yeah. Why are you bouncing around so much? Oh, because none of that has been changed. The damper strength needs to be, all of that needs to be changed. Alright, well, I guess we're going to do this test pointing this way. I don't know what is going on with this craft, but we definitely need to get those brakes figured out. I feel like this is just so poor of a test that we should... but I can't get those brakes figured out because can't seem to access the menu to utilize it. Oh, now I'm just hitting all the wrong buttons. Whoop. Oh, that is a complete catastrophe. Look at that. Alright. And survival rate. Take your best, people. Kerbals live. Kerbals live through this. Ooh. I actually didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. That's a fun sight. That might have to be the new thumbnail for this stream, because that was fun. Alright, enough messing around. Let's get this back. We may have to hop out of the VAB back into the main menu, or not the main menu, but the KSC. Hopefully that'll fix the bug. If not, we may have to jump back to the main menu and then back into the game. I don't know why. Yeah, what is going on this? Yeah, see, it doesn't even give me the options to click in to do the things. Yeah, so I don't like that. So let's get out of here. Alright, so hopefully let's save the game. You know what, yeah, let's just head back to the main menu for a second. And then we'll hop right back into the save file, and hopefully that will reload it well enough to work it. There we go. Just gonna take a quick second. Thank you everyone who is hanging out watching the stream right now. Thank you everyone who is watching the video after the fact. If you've watched this far, I appreciate it. And you're part of the reason why I like doing what I do as much as I do. You know, I started off making videos just because I like making Kerbal videos. And then, you know, I grew some people who liked watching my videos, and then y'all have been really nice and really enthusiastic and considerate. And so it just makes coming up with ideas like this a lot more gratifying, because I start thinking about what would be cool for y'all. And then here we are. And then I end up potentially biting off way more than I can chew by creating this. Alright, let's see if these wheels work. No, they don't. Alright, so let's just get rid of them entirely. Okay, extra large landing gear. Really? Oh, shoot. There we go. What is going on with these landing gear? Why can't I right click on it? Why can't I right click on anything? Click through blocker. I can't click on anything. What? Don't like that. Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to see. I'm pretty sure that this can get to orbit. Therefore, we are gonna now simulate it in orbit and just see if it can get to Jool. I mean, see if with a full tank of gas, if we refill it in orbit, full tank of gas, can it get to Jool? Easy enough. So, cause I believe we might be on it. All we have to do is do a stable test and get it to orbit. If it is indeed capable. We do need to also add solar panels on it as well. Oops. Alright, so it says that we have the Delta V, but just barely. Full tank of gas. Why don't we have... Oh, that's right, because we limited our fuel for takeoff. Fuel. But not by much. Alright, let's see. And is that with all of our engines? Alright. Let's get this over into the light. Can't do anything within the dark. Alright. So, closed cycle. Alright, these are all closed cycle. These are all off. So only our ELU engines are working. Still is a 3-minute burn. If we turn on all these engines, they're all closed cycle. It's still a 3-minute burn. Interesting. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. Okay, gonna restart that. We're gonna do that one more time, but this time with all the allotted fuel in it, because we're gonna simulate what it would be if we refueled it in orbit, and therefore it would utilize 100% of its tank. And yeah, doesn't make me very confident that we only just barely made it into a flyby with what we had. Oh, are we running into the same problem of do we not have enough fuel? Okay, okay. Well, there is some good news to be had in that, and that's because we needed to adjust our center of mass anyways. Oh, it's frustrating. This is a very fun game, but it is at times literal rocket science, and it just you just want to bang your head against the computer sometimes. But when you get it, oh, it's so gratifying. Turning off all the thrust back here. So many engines now. Alright. Now our thrust to weight is only 990. Of course. Then we don't need any liquids. Oops. And still the thrust is all the way back here. Is the weight is all the way back here. How is that possible? I don't need oxidizer, so let's change that up for the liquid fuel. Still only brings us up to 16 grand. That does not make sense to me. All right, 13. Still with the 8. Throw another one of these on here. Just back and forth, back and forth. Oof. All right, so we got 95. This is going to be like half vertical lifting engine by this point. All right, thrust to weight of over 1. Throw a little more liquid in here to balance it out. But now, oh my, now it is overweight again. Arg. I know, I'm chasing my tail right now, Peabody. You are absolutely right. Alright, but now we have even less delta V because of all this liquid that I just put in here. Alright, well, if we get rid of all the liquid, then we have a thing that's way back there. And then we limit the throttle here. We can actually get rid of one of those. Yeah, we can actually get rid of one of these. Still be okay. Alright, toss that. There we go. Alright, so we're still at a thrust weight of over 1. But our center of mass is way back there. What if, what if we start off with a little bit of ore? We're losing delta V again. And it's not even adjusting the center of mass in like any significant way. Sheesh. That back there. More fuel. When has more fuel ever hurt anybody? It really wants me to put something up here in the front in between these two things, but I really don't, because I like the way that the crew cabin leads into this hatch area. It was really fun when I played around in IVA with it. Alright, so instead of that, what if we do this? Does that help? It does help a little bit. Alright, we're getting there somewhat, but we are now again underneath where we should be. I'll put one of these on there. Oh, we can get a little bit better results by scooting that forward. Okay. That's nice. Still at 93. But if we pull this out. Hold on. Alright, we might be there. Might be there, everybody. Hold on. Hold that. There. That there. Get rid of one of these. That. Alright. 105 thrust to weight is decent. That's too much in the front. Do we have liquids in here? Did we still leave it? No, we didn't. That's good. So, we have full fuel in everything. I think that's what I want. I think I want us to have full fuel for our takeoff. Alright. Alright, we're close. 21,000 Delta V. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Alright. Once again, limit the thrust. I wish there was a button, like a mod that just allowed you to have a button. You can set up an action group. Like, you could use action groups in the spaceplane hangar in the VAB. So, if you just wanted to limit that throttle or turn it off altogether, you can just press the appropriate action group and just do it all. That would be awesome. I don't have to do this over and over again for every single one. Alright, no more thrust. Oh wait, there is still thrust. Where? Maybe not. It's just calculating it wrong. Oh well. Alright, now time to see that it can indeed still fly with all these changes. Such a great soundtrack. I have missed it. Alright. Excellent. Everything is on. Thrust to weight of 75. Not great. Not great at all. Oh, wait, hold on. What is that? What is this? What are you missing, engine piece? Oh, come on. I just had this. It was perfect. It worked. The frustration. Alright. I'm going to just get rid of this entirely. Replicate. Precisely. Alright. Well, back down to 61 on the thrust to weight. Oops. Alright, so we are going to do things a little differently now. And that is, we're going to put this running down the center. That's going to give us a little bit of a gap in the distance, and that's where we're going to put those engines that we had to remove because they were funky. Oh, I should be doing this outside. That's right. There we go. Now I have a little more room. Alright. So I'm back to 62 thrust to weight ratio. How? Ugh. Nightmare. Nightmare build. Alright. Alright, spreading that out. And let's put that adapter back on, because that was actually pretty decent. There we go. Go. Alright, thrust to weight back up to 84. Delta V back up to 31,000. But now our craft is even wider than before. Oh my. Okay. How funky is my engine? How loose is my boost? Thank you, Siren. That was great. My engines are quite funky, and oh, without this being equal, that boost is going to be quite loose. Oh, everything's lagging because I'm sure I'm quite a few parts to be counted here. All right. So 93 thrust to weight, below 1, but I do believe that will be enough to keep ourselves airborne, because when it comes to jets, you don't have to have a thrust to weight of above 1 in order to gain lift. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the line, do it this way. Gotta make sure we don't forget anything, because now we have all these engines, and what does that mean? Yeah, vertical engine time. Alright, limit. Gotta push it to the limit. There we go, there we go. Done, 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 done. Alright. Vertical engine time. Thrust, thrust, up, up, up. Yeah, it's just a singular button or a menu that I could just turn these on and off. Because all of my vertical engines are broadswords, so it's like all I would have to do is just say, hey, turn on all the broadswords. I feel like I might be making someone pull their hair out because they're like, there is an option. It's just this. Just click this and you'll do everything you need to do, because I feel like this is one of those games that it's like that. You find things. Like when I found the case PDF for the first time, I was blown away. I might actually want to look that up. Engine groups. It's probably engine groups. Alright, 75. Once again, not enough. Alright, well, we'll just double these up again. Oh, what happened here? Clicked the wrong thing when I scooted it over, I guess. I could just reattach it like so. Alright, center of lift slightly above. Still not high enough. This is not going to be easy. But our Delta V is great. Verdict is 102. Alright, finally, once again, thrust to weight above 1. Alright, lined up there. Alright, let's call this. Let's call this good. Let's turn the thrust there. I think we're good. We're probably below the 87 that we thought we were before. We gotta scoot that out. Ugh. I just want this to work. This is like, I know we're close. I know that we're on the verge of building too high and being too big to do what we want to do. So I want to just make it before we pass that that threshold. Just hit it right on the mark. If it wasn't as complicated of a mission as I want to get done, then it wouldn't be this complicated of a design. And we don't have to attempt the Jool 5 on the first try. Like, we could just send a Kerbal to one of the places, check out what they can check out, and then bring them on back. But if we, I mean, it takes a while to get to Jool, so we have to wait for appropriate conditions. And I mean, if we can just handle it while we're there, like, why not? Okay. Ridiculous plane now. Alright. So let's throw some wings in between. And by wings I just mean, you know, connectors basically. Just and just, I guess, all the way down the length of it. Keep the aerodynamics correct. I'm starting to spread them out. I can already see the difference between the gaps in the front pieces and the lower pieces. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And we'll do it again on this. How many pieces already? 342. We are going to need to upgrade our spaceplane hangar and runway just to handle this, but that'll be alright. I feel like there's a much easier piece here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there is. I'll leave that front one. And yeah, we'll just call it there. Oh, and they're not even straight. Of course they aren't. If we rotate this, will it rotate the ones to the left of it? Yes, it will. Oh, just that one. Okay. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so now it's straight. Now that's connected. Alright, cool. So 22,000 delta V. I can work with that. Alright, let's save. Let's simulate. Let's simulate it. Oh, shoot. I want to simulate it in space first to see how the delta V fares for the Jool. Hello, RN97. Yeah, that is the goal for today, and the madness and rabbit hole that I've been going down these last 2 weeks. But we are close, I feel. And once we can nail it down, then these next couple weeks I can just, you know, work on the Jool 5 and work on the Eve, because I'm also going to be taking this to Eve in first-person mode. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Whew, alright. Oh, we're going to need the wheels on the back here. We're missing our landing gear there, so that's great. But let's check this out real fast. Set our orbit. Yeah, Elu. I've actually never been to Elu. I'm one of those people that, up until recently, never left Kerbin's sphere of influence. Mun and Minmus, and then tooling around the planet, but never anywhere else. So, like, yeah, Elu, I am so looking forward to. And I've got, like, you know, all the visual mods and all that, so, like, I've had them for so long, like, there's no reason why I've never done so. Alright. Can we get away with... Yeah, we don't need those engines. So if we can just keep... Intake. There we go, liquid fuel. Alright, so 1898 out of our 3,000. Okay. Alright, that's much better. Yeah, if you've just... you know, you're just joining us, we've managed to get it up vertically, we managed to get it into space, but having the Delta V to actually make the journey, that's been the issue. So, alright, so simulated as if we just refueled it into space. Alright, let's launch. Let's do this. You got soft locked into the inner Kerbal system. Managed to land on Drake. You managed to land on a blank space and Jool inlay. I don't understand what you're saying. I kid, you know. I'm hoping you get that joke that dress doesn't exist. But if not, it's okay. That's fun. Yeah, never been there. I've only been to Lathe in simulations, and so that's actually something else we're going to need to test today, is whether or not this can fly in Lathe's atmosphere, especially with such tiny wings like this. Alright, cool. We've lined up with our maneuver. We have no solar panels on this, so we'll probably end up losing power at some point, so if anything, we'll just cheat our way into keeping it. Oh, we do have the RTGs, so maybe that's what's keeping us powered. But yeah, so we have enough Delta V to get to Jool. Let's see if we've got the Delta V to capture, Delta V to land somewhere. Let's see if it flies through Lay's atmosphere. I'm looking forward to doing these tests. We get to see the planet a little bit. Typically, I don't do live streams. Typically, I don't show the testing phase of any of my projects, so anytime you see anything on my series, ooh, what's that? Oh shoot, I missed it. Anytime you see something on my series, it's because we're doing it for real. So you will be seeing those planets even though we're not technically there. So it's a little different than what I normally do, but nonetheless, I've been struggling so much with the design of everything, and you know, short of not having another episode for both Friday and Monday and Sunday, I figured I'd stream out the last bits of our test. Yeah, you know, I hear that astronauts who've been in a certain part of the Kerbal system do suffer that memory loss and ramblings of just a lunatic theory. Alright, let's... Alright. I feel like you're not even flipping over in the slightest. Okay. So a 4-minute burn isn't great, but you know, what can you do? We've got it all planned out, so we're just going to time warp relay. Astrogator gives us a decent start to the maneuver, but then tries to do this mid-course correction thing. So we're actually going to use just the first part of it. Basically just enough to get us onto the right transfer window. And then we're going to take care of the rest ourselves. Oh, that's fun. Ooh, nice pink nuclear engines. Yep. Please go back to target. Thank you. Alright. So, I normally don't like physics warping while burning, but it will save us a little bit of time, so we're going to do that. And this is definitely not the most efficient exit. First off, we're doing it all in one burn. Second off, we're not utilizing any other kind of like gravity assist, because I know there's ways that you can get to Jool by actually heading to Eve instead, and then getting a launch around Eve, and that'll push you out to the distance where you need for Jool. But that is so much more experience than I have, and I figured if I'm going to triple up the difficulty, there's no need to add the difficulty of gravity assist. So, Delta V looks pretty good. We can potentially air brake into Jool's atmosphere. I do need to, let's see, what is Jool's atmosphere limit? Let's see, I'll look this up real fast. Jool atmosphere height. 200 kilometers. Okay. So if we come in within 200 kilometers, the apoapsis of Jool, then we can use that to brake and come into a capture. And because of the fact that we have we have our air intakes can actually process the chemicals of Jool, that will be good. We should be able to fly through the atmosphere in case we end up lowering our orbit so much that we actually get captured into Jool's orbit, into Jool's atmosphere entirely. We can hopefully bring ourselves out. Alright, exciting. 600 meters per second Delta V left. And the POV crowd are going to have a little bit easier of a time because they get to go to Eve, which I feel is a little bit easier to get to. They don't have to do the Jool 5 as far as landing on all the moons and everything. They just have to deal with Eve and Gilly. But, I mean, they're going to have to go to Jool 5 at some point anyways. They get to avoid it now. And, we have to put in all the work to do all the landings on all the moons, but, then we don't have to do it in the future. Everything else is a lot simpler. Alright, remote tech flight computer, what are you looking like? Alright. 5 seconds. Alright, that is a decent... Alright, we are going to cancel all these. Cancel all that. Cancel. Cancel. Kill. Cancel. Alright. That is pretty good. We're going to plot in our own mid-course correction out here. And we're just going to bring it nice and low. Vertical could be cool. I wouldn't mind getting a scan of Jool if we can. Flyby of what? Tylo? Nice. This is the exciting part. Alright, so 200 kilometers is the periapsis of this. That is way too low. We will regret that. So that is too high. So let's try that. So that's a 12-second burn. Should be easy enough. We're not going to use RCS to pitch ourselves over because we might lose our positioning. Hopefully not. Alright, yeah, so I'm excited to see what kind of slowing down this is going to provide for us and what kind of rendezvous we can hit after that, because we can hit any of these really. I feel like we should hit one of them and land and refuel, plant the flag, and then bring ourselves back out into orbit, because I feel like that should be the mission once we get ourselves out here, once we get captured by Jool, do our little aero braking, and then orbit the planets. We're gonna be very low on fuel by that point, I feel like. So, yeah. And, again, we need to scan sat every single one of these moons, probably before we land, because we're gonna want to know where the best place where the ore is, so we can, you know, mine that resource. We're also going to want to know where the anomalies are, because if there are any anomalies on any of these places, I want to see them. All right, almost on target. Oh, our electric charge is out. I'm just going to give ourselves the electric charge because I forgot to put the solar panels on here. There we go. I forgot to put the solar panels on there, and so those would be out and working. So by this point in the mission, we wouldn't be running out of electric charge. There we go. So we're on point. Time warp to the maneuver. Yeah, so the reason why the cheese is specifically just to test its capabilities, and the electric charge isn't necessarily what we need to find out. Why aren't you going as fast as you could? Oh, are you doing a flyby? Oh, the curb and escape. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess we hadn't even left curb and sphere of influence yet. You know what we can do? We don't have solar panels available, but we do have landing gear to put up. We can extend our communications dish, and then that way we can keep an eye on our signal. Because I do believe that this should be good enough. This craft should be good enough to handle our communication needs. Activate that, and activate that. That's fun looking. Yep, local control, as we see here. Remote tech is happy. Alright, cool. Let's just go ahead and travel on. So liquid fuel we don't have a lot of. We do have some oxidizer on board. I don't know that we actually need that. And if we could utilize more liquid fuel or take up less space, I think that would be good. We've got 2,000 monopropellant. I feel like we've already used monopropellant. Have we built up more? Why would that be? We don't have infinite propellant on as our cheat, so I don't know why we would have a full tank of monopropellant. That's weird. Alright, so just, I guess, bring ourselves out to the maneuver. Killing that time. So far, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I know we're only on like step 1 of our actual test, and we're only on like step 3 of the whole mission entirely, but I'm pretty happy with how it's performing so far. As long as we can maintain control in Jool's atmosphere, as long as we can get it to vertically take off, single stage to orbit on Kerbin, as long as, so those first 3 stages are correct. Or first 4 stages, because the aero braking on Jool is stage 4, which we're approaching soon. And then if I can land on another planet, if I can orbit another moon, it's the next stage. You know, scan it, find its resources, land there, extract the resources, regain my fuel, and then keep going. That would be the mission. And then if I can land somewhere and refuel and get a full tank of gas, basically, and I can do that several times over, then I can almost guarantee that we'll be able to get these Kerbals home, because it means that we can just visit wherever we need to visit and refuel along our way, so we shouldn't end up running out of Delta V. The only thing we can... I mean, there's a lot of negative things that can happen, but specifically, I think our biggest danger would be breaking pieces off our craft, because everything on our craft is big enough that our engineers aren't going to be able to handle us, and the fact that we're probably only going to have 1 engineer, so... yeah, let's try not to break things. Alright, getting close to the maneuver. It's only a 12-second burn, but those 12 seconds will mean a huge difference. Normally I cut this out of the video, but it's okay. But you know what? That's actually good, because you know what? By showing it here, because I always like to, anytime that I do something new for the first time, I like to not cut out as much of it as possible, because it's all new. We haven't seen it before. But since I'm showing this now, this whole interplanetary stage, the waiting, the mid-course correction, I think I can shorthand it when we need to get to the actual episode. And I'll point to this particular moment in the stream if anybody wants to see the specifics of that mid-course correction to bring us down here. And that will save us some time on the episode. So that's pretty good, actually. Alright. 3 minutes. Oh. There we go. Keep an eye on our periampsis. Yay! Alright, very excited. Oh yeah, we need to find the pole map, pole flag. Okay, don't overshoot, please don't overshoot. You overshot. Alright, well, that's okay. I'll bring that out a little bit. then all we need to do... Should have pointed retrograde, then I could fire my engines, but we're just going to use our RCS. Nope, that's not working out the way that we wanted to, so let's have it flip around. It's okay, we got plenty. Yeah, why is my monopropellant not going out? Are we using... Yeah, we're using liquid fuel for monopropellant? Interesting. That actually may be a benefit. You know what? That may be a benefit, because then we can get rid of our monopropellant entirely and just have more liquid fuel. And then we never waste anything, because... never waste anything. Really? You want to flip around? I thought I had that correctly. Alright. Alright, we're not going to bother with the mono... Or with the... Just want to air brake on Jool. Is that so hard to ask? That is a wicked angle that we're coming in at, too. We're just going to push out our orbit just a little bit. Why are you doing that? Once again, I just need to flip around and bring it down back to 200, and then we should be good. We can just time warp our way to Jool and get going. I feel like I spent so much, been streaming. Wow, it's 2 hours, 18 minutes already. But as long as it can get into orbit, then all of this that we're doing right now can happen. Which means that this has actually been a successful stream. This is exactly what I set out to do, is to get a Jool 5 capable VTOL SSTO. So let's line up here and come in for our final approach burn. Just slightly under 200. Alright. If I could quick save, I would, but in simulations, there is no quick save. Alright, so we're just going to plot in prograde, but for now, there's nothing we need to do. We're going to switch. Let's go back to this. We'll leave our communications out for now, but we are going to switch to air breathing mode. Going to turn those on and switch to air breathing mode as well. So everything is in air breathing mode. Oxium compressor. I don't know how we deal with that, so we'll deal with that when we need to. All right, time to arrive. Yay, I'm so excited. All right, time warping to the interception. Jool with the parallax continued and the volumetric clouds, whichever one handles its textures, is just gorgeous. Alright, well, this is going to take a while, even at full speed. Still have a year and 265 days left. It's already been a year and 171 days, so the Jool missions are quite extensive. Wow, look at that orbit that it sends us on. Still not interstellar, but still pretty good. All right. Almost there. Sorry for being a little quiet. It was nice to take a break from talking for a second. This is as fast as we can go. I could add the better time warp mod, but we haven't had it thus far, and we always risk breaking things when messing with mods mid-game, so I am a little hesitant about that, but I do see the benefit in it in doing with interplanetary like this. So we still have control. As we see here up in the top left, it says local control, which means that, oh, just dropped out. But oh, that's probably just because it was an eclipse. But yeah, that means we have signal this entire way, which is good. That's so good, because we're going to need to have signal to transmit our ScanSat findings and to clear up the science space. So it's important. And, you know, if we're going to do any kind of probed landing stuff, we're going to need that too. If for some reason that this plane just isn't capable of doing every single place, then we can send out an uncrewed vessel out to them that can be capable of handling it. So it's good to be able to have the communication, and the fact that since this is more than just a direct communication, but it has a relay to it as well, is very beneficial. So even if these Kerbals have to stay out here for a little bit, then, you know, they can still assist in future missions, and so all will be well. This is half of our remaining Kerbals, though. We don't have too many left. We're going to have to spend a lot of money to upgrade and hire new ones. Alright, 232 days. And that's just... oh, that's the periapsis. 155 days. See if we can see it. The spot I come in. Don't think we'll be able to. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, a lot of this waiting is gonna get cut out. That's good. All right, less than 100 days, and we will be at Jool. We've got 1,200 meters per second delta V remaining. And sphere of influence change. There we are. Getting close. Yep. Okay, but we do need to lower the time warp, though, so we don't come rocketing into the atmosphere. Alright, where is Jool? Alright, you know what? We're in Jool's sphere of influence. We have local control. That's pretty awesome. Let's just go ahead and retract our reflectors and close up all of our bays. Just so that way we don't have to worry about it. And if we do end up time warping our way into the atmosphere, it's not the worst thing that can happen. We also need to raise our landing gear and ladder. Oh, is that Jool? Right there? No, that one looks like Duna. Can't remember which skybox I have. I think it's like NGC or NC something. It's a series of numbers. It's sort of a weird random one, but I like it. I like having a lot of stars. Reminds me of Outer Wilds a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to time warp to about here. Hopefully then... Oh yeah, I was right. It was that little yellow one. There we go. Yeah, we'll just bring on the cinematic mode as we approach. Oh, this is fun. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to doing this for real. And we approach. We slow down. Ooh, okay. Alright, what we got here? We've got a couple different moons visible. There's 1, 2, 3. I think that might be Lathe right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and come on in. Alright, we are coming in on the dark side, and we are going to need to keep an eye on our stats here. Oh, okay, that's bright, that's bright. Okay, that was not a good re-entry, and we may be well too low for this to be safe. Okay, good to know, good to know, good to know. We need our things to be... And I feel like with that camera change, that means our orbit is done, and we need to get out of Jool's atmosphere before too late. Okay, our apoapsis is now about to be Oh no, this is okay. So, okay. Note to self: aerobraking to in Jool's atmosphere in order to kill off our velocity might not be the best idea. But we're still not lost yet. And we can turn on our engines, point ourselves this way, and hopefully raise ourselves. So we're past our periapsis. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's change our thoughts about this. It might be an okay thing. Yeah, that's a beautiful screenshot. So it might be an okay thing. Close all of our base. Alright, so our apoapsis is not falling into the atmosphere now. Oh, you know what? I could probably take a crew report. Jules up. You record the. It just. Oh, you record the crew's assessment. That's it. I feel like there should have been something a little more than that. Well, let's get a good storm shot underneath. That'd be fun. Yeah, these make for some great pictures. Oh, right there. Gorgeous. All right, 18,000. Yeah, we'll be good. Oh, I'm getting so many great screenshots from this. But I don't even have the solar panel, so this isn't even like the complete ship either. Yeah, I also need radiators on this, I believe. Yeah, because we are going to be building up some heat with the drilling aspect. Alright, heating effect has dissipated. Once again, we are safe. Nothing blew up. I mean, nothing should have blown up, so. Alright, so at our apoapsis, let's go ahead and add a maneuver to bring ourselves out of the atmosphere, at the very least. Let's see if we can't line up with lathe, right? Let's see. We are at a weird inclination. But we may be able to fix that. We have enough delta V. Holy crap, we've got a decent amount of delta V. Alright, let's see. Can we get 500 kilometers above the surface? Alright. And we just want to be just a little over 500. We also want it to be fairly straight on. Oh, but we could save some delta V aerobraking here as well instead of just brute forcing it with our engines. So let's try that. We'll save a little delta V. I mean, we're spending more delta V to get the maneuver down, but we'll be saving it in the capture phase. All right, but let's see. What's the atmospheric height of lathe now? $50,000. All right. Alright, so that is just in the atmosphere, right there. Alright, 41. That sounds good. A 6-minute, 19-second burn. Oof. That is brutal. Oh, but we also are not in the right mode. So let's say... turn those off. Turn those on, make them the liquid fuel. Alright, there we go. 1 minute, 21 seconds. That makes a whole lot more sense. We'll still have some delta V, so if we don't end up completely coming down into lathe on the first go round, we will be able to get out of the atmosphere. Oh, that's gorgeous. Nice. All right. So let's go ahead and plot that in to flight computer. And then we'll just go ahead and hit it. And this is an interesting mission to do in third person. And once we take this thing to Eve in first person, that's going to be also very interesting. That's going to be a whole lot more challenging because I'm going to have to fly in this perspective. You don't get a lot of room for error in this perspective. Right. Hey, there's Leave. Can we get both in the shot? Kind of. Time warp into the maneuver. A whole day. Okay. There we go. Alright, minute and 17 seconds. I'm going to let that burn. Hopefully it will stop on time, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back and it's still not done, so that's good. Good to see. Like nice long burns because that means there's some precision there. Alright, so when we get back into the spaceplane hangar, something we need to remember is we need solar panels. Can't have 170. We can't have this little. Well, I feel like I didn't even put any batteries on there. I might not have put any batteries. Eesh. Okay, well, that's not great because then that means we have to put in a little more extra weight on the thing. And I'm straying from my target here. Come on, remote tech. Put on the RCS to hopefully maintain some control. Yeah, we don't use any of this monopropellant apparently, so Alright, 16 seconds. Yeah, so maybe... Oh, wait, whoa. Killed it. Okay, we'll kill that. Okay, so it ended the maneuver early. There we go. Alright, so let's point ourselves prograde. And let's try to close this in. No, it's not even the right direction. Shoot. Alright, so now we're just going to flip ourselves around, lower it, and that should be fine. And we're just going to do it manually. We could probably do a mid-course correction, and that may be... It may be good to do it more automatically, but I also feel like we may just be able to do this ourselves and not have to deal with any more inconsistencies in the trajectory. Alright, stop that, turn that. Alright. Oh, we're going to have to do a mid-course correction because it's not precisely retrograde that we need to go. Shoot. Alright, well, that's easy enough. So what did we say? 50 kilometers? That's what 50 kilometers surface? Ooh, but we are starting to use a lot of our delta V to come in. Alright. That should suffice. Plot in that into flight computer. It's a 22-second burn, so again, that's relatively long enough to be accurate, so that's good. Alright, 5 hours, 35 minutes till the burn, so there's plenty of time to get ourselves lined up with our target. Yeesh, 214 out of our 500 Delta V left. It's not great. I think ideally, yeah, so in our mission, we're not going to aero brake on Jool. If anything, we'll aero brake on Lathe, I feel like. Or if we do aero brake on Jool, we'll come much more shallow into the atmosphere, just enough to keep ourselves from going back out into the Kerbal system, but not enough that we lose as much Delta V as we did. And yeah, not have the monopropellant. I think a few changes on this will give us to the point. Right now, what we're going to do, the goal for the rest of the stream, and I am going to be stopping after this, is we are going to come into Lathe's atmosphere and see that this can actually fly. It's very important for our space plane to leave the atmosphere of Kerbin, but if it is useless on Lathe, if it's useless on Eve, then it is useless. So yeah, that's going to be the last test that we do for today, is we're going to see that it can fly on Lathe, and we'll take a stab at landing if we can find well, some land. Let's go ahead and time warp to the maneuver burn, and there we go. 22 seconds of that. That'll bring us in. When we come in, we are going to want to go a little more towards the daylight. We don't have any maps. But yeah, so what we're going to do with the rest of our stream today is we're going to come in and land for a landing on Lathe. But in the actual mission itself, we're going to air brake on Lathe, bring ourselves to about a 500 kilometer distance, orbit at 500 kilometers, scan it, scan the entire planet. Oh, why are we straying? Why are we straying? Flight computer, why have you forsaken me? What is wrong with you? Alright, we're just going to touch this in manually. I don't know what's going on with the control here, why it kept straying. Maybe it has something to do with our center of mass. Alright. We're just going to bring it down. And you know what? If it comes in equatorially, that's fine, because we're not trying to get a scan set. The only reason why we were going polar was for the scan set. Alright, bring ourselves back onto target. And coming on down, 50 kilometers it said. And then I think if we were to just point at retrograde. And I think this should be enough. Really, retrograde? You're gonna bring me out like that? That makes no sense. Doesn't look like there's any land in sight anywhere around here. That's picking like the worst landing zone, but that's okay. This is just for a test. It's just to see. Alright, there we go. Coming in. Under 50. Let's say 42. Good old-fashioned 42. Oh, nope. 42 was an impossibility. It's going to start coming up again. 44 it is. So now, we've got 134 meters per second delta V left. Can we just circularize on that? Absolutely not. Didn't think so. Alright. Alright, this is it, everybody. Last call for lathe. Where are you, lathe? I'm coming for you. Oh, I think it's that one over there. A little bit of frame dropping, but that's okay. I think it's just because we're so close to everything. Whoa, that was a little fast. Alright. Throw on our RCS, throw on the prograde, and let's get ready for re-entry. So, this will be, if this was a real flight right now, this will be the very first non-Kerbin Sphere of Influence celestial body that we've been to in the Janus Project. If KXP manages to get there first, then they will have scored the milestone of interplanetary travel. There's some land right there, maybe. Oh, there's some land right there too. Alright, there's some places we can go. Oh, this is exciting. Alright, yeah, so if we end up flipping around, we can always come back to this place. Alright. Alright, so now we just do the tumble until we come back in. Ooh, there's a storm right here. That could be kind of cool. Fly through an alien rainstorm. Ooh, exit the atmosphere. That's no good. We don't want to exit the atmosphere. Okay, yeah, we don't want to exit the atmosphere, so we're gonna want to utilize as much as we can. Alright, well, again, this is going to be slightly different now than it would be on the actual mission, because we have a lot less fuel than we would, because we wouldn't be doing the aero braking. Alright. Well, shoot. This is not going to work for this test right here. Alright, so we're just going to put ourselves into a stable orbit. And just come back in. Like so. And we're just going to give ourselves the propellant. Because, once again, yeah, we're not going to be needing any of these things. Actually, I don't really even need a maneuver. I can just do it this way. Yeah, because all we need to know is, can the engines actually work on lathe? Can it maintain lift? Can it land safely? Can it take off? Important things. That's a very low periapsis. That's fine. Flip around to be prograde. Oh, that is a cool. Oh, I can't wait till we go here for real. Alright, flip ourselves around, come back through the atmosphere, land, and call it a day. Also, all of our engines, are they in the right mode? No. Alright, so now they should all be in the right mode. Oh, what's that over there? That is strange looking. What is that? Do I have engines that were thrust limited. What? Have I been only working on a few engines? Okay, that's a strange discovery. I don't know why it took me this entire time to realize that. Alright, so it says we only have 46 meters per delta V, meters per second delta V, 50 meters per second delta V. I feel like that might change once we start coming into the atmosphere. Oh, passed right on by whatever that was. What is that? Is that like a volcano? That like a storm system that I'm not familiar with? I'm so curious. If anyone knows what that is, please let me know, because I'm curious, and I don't know that I'll be able to find it again, because if it's like just a weather system, then that's probably temporary. Coming in for the flip. Someone mentioned on my post on Reddit, my planes have a skin condition, and I just want to say those are beauty marks. Those little bumps right there. And there's so many of them because the ship is just oh so beautiful. Alright, our periapsis is in the negative, which means that we will be landing on lathe. It's just a matter of how quickly. bit of retrograde thrust to slow myself down. And hopefully I can flip myself around at some point. Yeah, see, that's the other question, is how much control do I actually even have with this thing? Takes off pretty smoothly off curbing, but that's just because it needs to get up and then go into a straight line. But how well does it do in an alien atmosphere? That's the real question. Alright. Oh, I do miss KSP2's dynamic music. That was definitely a lot of fun. Something like this would be oh so harrowing. Not helping at all. Oh shoot. This may not be the best design for landing on lathe. This whole mission is such a difficult challenge, such a why did I make myself so challenged? Oh, we can throw that throttle on. Some of these are not in the right way. This is a closed cycle. Oh yeah, some of these are not good. They're not on the right action group, apparently. I don't know why this is thrust limited. I don't know why that's thrust limited. Oh, maybe it's improperly action grouped. Oh, Jool, save me. We are starting to gain a little bit more control. Go, that's starting to... Everything seems to be on and in the right way. We are slowing down to a crawl, basically. Starting to hover, almost. So now, if we can just flip ourselves over and start gaining some forward momentum, I think we'll be good. We'll be back in business. Thankfully, none of these engines seem to be using up any of our last remaining liquid fuel. It just all seems to be dealing with the air intake. I'm going to physics warp this a little bit. It might send us a little wonky, but it might also fix our free fall. I really need to just pitch myself over. Dropping a lot of frames when you do it this quickly. Alright, come on. I mean, if nothing else, we just need to slow down enough so we don't crash into the water. I think we could probably take off from there, as long as we don't destroy all of our engines. Let's just point ourselves retrograde. Let's see if that helps at all. We are definitely slowing down, that's for sure. You got this. Pitch over and then start going forward. let's open up our bay doors for our vertical engines. So we may end up using those. And I mean, we shall see. We've got 400 or 5,000 meters to slow down 50 meters per second. We might. We're not using any liquid fuel, so there's not really a downside to doing this. We've just essentially created ourselves a rocket. Kill our throttle for a second. And bring it back up. Alright, so we're starting to fall a little bit quicker now, but that should give us enough speed to continue our descent safely. Yeah, I'm starting to think that this is how we're gonna approach it. If this is the case in the mission, where just ends up doing this vertical descent thing. Yeah, we're like hovering right now. Alright, I went by our countdown, so hopefully I didn't screw that up. 2,000 meters above the surface. This will be our determination, and this will be the culmination of our stream today. Yeah, the Kerbals are definitely optimistic and thrilled. They are in their zone. Alright, slowing down a lot, but 50 meters per second is still fairly fast to land on, even in the water. .400 meters above the surface. We're gonna kill some of those. Oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Turn those back on. And if we do belly flop, we don't want to belly flop on our back or on our side. That's no good. Are you kidding me? Are you saying now you'll actually level out and have enough control to... Nope. That was a bad idea. Alright, so we kind of have control of this thing, but it's still a freaking boat. And it's just doing this little dance above the water. Maybe we can straighten ourselves out a little bit like that. Oh, nice. And then kill that. Oh no, this is no good. Losing control. And touchdown. And kill the engines. And we have done it. Success. Wait, oh, it broke off a piece. Oh, a lot of stuff. Oh, a lot of stuff got damaged during this flight. All right, not the best. Not the best. Hey, Andrew. Thank you. Yeah, it's a crazy beast, crazy machine. So we are successfully on lathe. We can do a little crew report right there. And again, nothing interesting to say here. That's sad. I wish it did. All right, last. Yeah, that was intentional. Yeah, it was. I was hoping we could aero brake into Lay's atmosphere and just be good. Get all my engines on. Where are my engines? Yeah, the goal was to aero brake into Lay's atmosphere and then just start flying and then hopefully just land our way that way, but apparently that was not in the cards. So now, can we take off from a water landing? I think it's possible. But yeah, the goal is to make a Jool 5 capable vertical takeoff and landing single stage to orbit spaceplane. Oh, we are missing our control surfaces. Because of the breakage. Alright, but that's fine. Thank you much. I've been working on this for the better part of like almost 2 weeks now, and if I can just get it right, then I can just get back to my regularly scheduled broadcasts of two episodes a week of Kerbal. But until I can get an actual craft out there, it's been troublesome. And I think if I can't nail down this one, I may have to lessen my mission parameters and just create a smaller craft. Are these engines not firing? Those engines aren't even firing. Why aren't you firing? There we go. They weren't even on. That's why we weren't lifting off. There we go. Now it's a vertical takeoff and landing. Ooh, well, welcome in, Andrew. I apologize because I actually am going to be ending this stream soon enough. The goal was to land on lathe, and now that we have, I want to make sure that we can indeed take off. Is everything air breathing? Yeah. Yeah, this has been just such a troublesome mission that if this actually works out, I'm going to be so excited because then I can move forward on it. There is, just take a peek inside the service bay. There is a convertitron and, oh, I can actually just, there's a convertitron and mining apparatus. We have the ability to mine up fuel and refuel ourselves, so hopefully, yeah, this is not faring well. Yeah. I may have to make this whole thing smaller. You know, I may have to choose one thing to scan, either the altimetry or the biome, either the resource or the visuals. So, you know, I may have to pick my battles here. But, you know, we are getting thrusts. We are getting thrusts here on lathe. We just don't have a lot of control. That's the kicker. And it might be because our center of mass is super off balance again. Those aren't even active. What is going on here? Yeah, look at this. Oh, look at this. I can't even raise the thrust because it's just doing whatever it wants to do. Here. Oh, maybe that's that new mod that I added. That last minute mod. You should never, ever, 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 ever add last minute mods. Look at that. That's probably why I was having such control problems. Alright. Well, with that little splashdown, I've already added this, so I'm now hesitant to remove it. But now we know we can turn it off, so that'll help. I may try to learn how to use it, because actually this may be very beneficial for me. But all in all, Barston's the only one that's having a good time, because he's the only pilot here. But all in all, I don't think... yeah, I was so close. I was so close to being able to call this craft a success. But after all that, I don't believe I can. Hop in IVA real fast. I just want to see. We're not going to be able to get that, are we? Wanted to see our the innards of our craft. But it is not to be. There we go. We can aim the camera that way. Yeah, there's the drill-o-matic, and then the ore canister, the convertron. Oh, it got smashed up in its landing. Yeah, so maybe impact landing is not the best route to go. But yeah, this was supposed to be a ScanSat mission, so it's got the altimetry device, the resource thing, and all that. So, oh well. Oh well, indeed. Why won't you let me quit? The menu comes up for like a quick second, and then I can't quit. Why? You know what? I know how we can fix this. I know how we can fix this. So we're gonna click on the override safety check and set ourselves into Jool. And I'm sorry, Kerbals, but that's all she wrote. So now we can get out of here, right, by... There we go. Terminate. So there are easier ways of making a vertical takeoff and landing plane. There are easier ways of making an SSTO plane. There are easier ways of making a Jool 5 capable craft. I just need to figure out where that cross section is for all three. So I think on the VTOL 10. Oh, that's no, not that. On the VTOL 10, we are going to significantly limit this. All of this. I'm like, oh, it's lagging so hard trying to pick up all these parts. Yeah, so the VTOL 10 will have a whole lot less than this. Probably won't even have the converter. No, it needs a convertitron because it needs to be able to refuel. See, I'm running into the spot where in order to complete this mission, I need an X amount of things. And I can't deal with any less than that, you know? Like, I need the Drill-O-Matic. I need the convertitron. So this right here has to be in the situation, but, I mean, what's the point of not including this, 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 and this if this is here? I could utilize some of this space a little better, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I think shortening this up, because like, look at this. With just these 4 engines right here, we have enough to be a vertical takeoff, you know? If I could just somehow crank this and have it go sideways like this, then we have enough for us to wait to go forward. So maybe, yeah, so maybe I just need to shorten this. Yeah, so we'll have to see that in the next episode, or whatever we do as we work on this. But that is where I'm going to leave today's live stream, where today's episode is going to go to a close. 3 hours, 23 minutes, 55 seconds. I think we made a lot of progress in the fact of we now know that the design that we had enough Delta V to make it to Jool fairly well. You know, 35,000 meters per second Delta V was pretty quality to get us there. If we can just get it in a smaller package, hopefully things will be a little bit easier. But that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KXP, more POV, and more of the Janus project in total. Hopefully we can get this VTOL SSTO nailed down soon. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.